Hey friends, today is going to be a lot of fun. I have some recipes that I've been wanting to share with you, and I also want to share some things that have been on my heart lately. Hope you don't mind if I open up, and also I'm going to be decorating with a few new antique finds that I'm real excited to show you. I also made some fun discoveries, so lots of fun stuff today. We're going to be spending some time outside and in our garden area, and I just love summertime, so I hope you'll stick around, and I'm just so happy that you're here today. Alright guys, I want to thank Seed for sponsoring today's video. I will talk more about them in just a moment, but like I said at the beginning of this video, I have just been thinking a lot about homemaking lately and how special it is to me, how much I absolutely love it, and how I feel like it has just provided me with so many opportunities, and I've been able to explore so many interests because of homemaking. From baking to cooking to gardening to painting to blogging and even this YouTube channel. It's crazy the amount of interests I've been able to explore, all because of the decision we made for me to stay home and to raise our boys. And I want to talk about this for a moment because I feel like homemaking is not something that we necessarily encourage as a culture, and I really want that to change, and I'll talk about that more here in a bit, but I thought I'd quickly explain to you what it is that I'm putting together now. This is my mom's peach cobbler recipe, and she was talking to me about it the other day and said it was so simple, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have not made that in so long. And it really is the easiest recipe, you guys. I'm gonna put it on my blog for you so you can check it out. You don't even have to mix up the ingredients. You just melt the butter in the cast iron pan. Now, I went ahead and thawed some frozen peaches for this before reading the recipe. You actually use canned peaches, and you just pour the batter over the melted butter, and then using a slotted spoon, you're going to place the peaches onto the batter. Now, I called my mom and she said, oh, it's okay if you thawed some extra peaches, just go ahead and use some of those as well, because when she made this, she always felt like it could use extra peaches. So that's what I went ahead and did. I filled in the gaps with the spare peaches that I had thawed from earlier. But honestly, you just throw this cast iron in the oven until it gets brown and crispy, and it's such a simple, delicious summer dessert idea. So I want to take a quick break to share some of my favorite probiotics with you guys, and then I'll chat more about this topic of homemaking here in a bit. All right, guys, I just want to take a moment to talk to you about my favorite probiotics. You guys know that gut health is important to our family. Every single day I'm making homemade kefir to try to get probiotics into my kids. We do a lot of homemade sourdough, and we're very careful about what types of foods we're bringing into our home. And probiotics are so important, but not all of them are created equal. And today I want to talk about Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. I've shared this with you before. It's so much different in that it has a 100% survivability rate. So probiotics are most effective when they make it to your colon alive. Unfortunately, a lot of probiotics on the market die during digestion. They have to fight stomach acid, digestive enzymes, and bile salts, but Seeds stay viable. DS-01 is a clinically validated 24-strain probiotic and prebiotic engineered to survive digestion and deliver whole body benefits. Seed's capsule-in-capsule via cap technology ensures bacteria survive through digestion for delivery of an average of 100% of the probiotic starting dose to your colon. The prebiotic outer capsule serves as a barrier to oxygen, moisture, and heat, so there's no refrigeration necessary. I've shared seed with you guys before, and I've talked a lot about our microbiome and how important it is. It's literally connected to everything else in our bodies, and it's so important that we're taking care of that. So if you've taken probiotics in the past and you haven't really felt a huge difference, then it's probably because those probiotics aren't actually making it to your colon. Whenever I'm taking my probiotics regularly, I notice a huge difference in my overall health, my regularity, and so much more. If you are looking for a probiotic that actually works, then I highly recommend Seed. I'm going to put all these details in my description below, and you can use my special code PINE25 for 25% off of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. Guys, I notice such a huge difference when I am consistently taking my probiotics, especially when I'm using Seed. I can tell that these are making it all the way to my gut and having an impact on my overall health, and I know that you guys are gonna love them too, so make sure you check out that link in my description so you can start taking Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic for yourself. Alright guys, so I hate to waste ingredients. I had that extra juice from the peaches and I thought, you know what, I can turn this into a marinade. I just threw some coconut aminos, maple syrup. I like to use rice wine vinegar, but I only had balsamic, salt, pepper, and then of course a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic, and there you have a delicious Asian-inspired marinade. Of course, I always taste mine to see, how it tastes before I add the meat to my marinade. And today I thought I would get some salmon out. It's one of my go-to meals when I forget to get meat out first thing in the morning. It thaws quickly, and what I like to do actually is I will just put it in a bowl of water so it thaws even faster. And once it's thawed, I'll throw it in a bag with my marinade. Now, getting back to what I was talking about earlier in terms of homemaking, listen, I just want to start off by saying that I know that staying home is not an option for everyone out there. I totally get that. I realize there are situations where there are single moms or there are certain financial situations where you aren't able to stay home. But I think oftentimes in our culture, there's this pressure on young people to choose what it is they want to do with the rest of their life at like 14 or 15 years old. And I am not against going to college, getting a higher education. I went to college, I have a bachelor's degree, and I feel like I grew up a lot in college and I learned a lot about myself. I feel like I grew closer to the Lord when I went to school. There's a lot of great things about college, but at the same time, I want to be the voice that champions these young girls who tell me when they grow up, they just want to be a stay-at-home mom. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I was recently eating dinner with my two nieces and my sister, and one of them was telling me what she wanted to do when she grows up, and she had all these ideas, which I think is great. I feel like that's amazing, and I feel like we are capable as women to do so many awesome things. But then my other niece said, I think I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. And I want to be the voice in her life that says, that's awesome too. That's wonderful too, because that is literally what I'm doing with my life. And I feel so fulfilled and I love every moment of it. I recently went antique shopping with them and we just had so much fun. They watch my channel faithfully, and man, it just makes me realize that I have a responsibility, and I really want to make sure that I'm not trying to sugarcoat, being a stay-at-home mom. There are hard days. There are difficult moments within any job. Let's just be honest. There's no perfect job out there. There are going to be pros and cons with each and every one, and I think it's important that we simply weigh the cost of each negative and we just try to make the best decision that we can for our families. With Mike and I, we only have one vehicle. We don't have a second vehicle. There are certain things, we don't have credit cards. We don't rack up a bunch of debt. We try to pay for everything with cash. There are definitely things we have to do, sacrifices we have to make in order for me to stay home. But for us, the positives just far outweigh the negatives. And I know every situation and every family is different, and I'm not saying that our way is the best way. Again, I'm just trying to be the voice for those young girls watching that says, hey, being a stay-at-home mom is awesome, it's rewarding, it's fulfilling, it's wonderful, and don't let anybody ever tell you anything else. If that's what you feel like you want to do, there is nothing wrong with that, and I'm here to champion that desire in your heart. And so anyways, here are some of the things that I purchased while I was antique shopping with the girls. I got this fun basket next to the fireplace. I tried putting some stems in it and wasn't crazy about that. So then I tried putting a blanket in the basket, and I think I'm kind of liking the way that looks. You guys know me, things change constantly around here, so I'm not sure how long it'll stay like that, but for right now I'm loving this pretty basket. I also got this mirror for my mom. I sent her a picture and she asked me to grab it for her, and while I was playing around with it and kind of taking the tags off of it, I noticed that the back of it looked really old, so I kind of popped it off and noticed an old newspaper, and I love old newspapers. I actually really love history, and so I was trying my best to read all of the articles and figure out how old the newspaper was because I couldn't find a date. And then finally I found an article about Congress meeting, and the date was 1939, so pretty cool little discovery there. Now I also found another cutting board. I know that I don't need more of them. I tried putting it on my little display rack, didn't love it there, so it's just stacked next to some of my similar boards here in my kitchen next to my stove. I like to kind of stack them there underneath the pegboard. Now I'm going to move on and continue to work on dinner. For the evening, we're just going to grill up some asparagus with the salmon that I have marinating, and I also decided that ice cream would go really well with the peach cobbler, so I'm going to make some homemade ice cream. If you have never tried making homemade ice cream, it is absolutely delicious. Once you try it, it's hard to go back to store-bought. It is so good and so simple. Just some heavy cream, some milk, some sugar, and vanilla. That is it. And of course you have to invest in an ice cream maker, but we've used ours again and again and again, and it's just so delicious. You're supposed to chill the mixture for a couple of hours in the fridge. I had about an hour, so I decided to do like 30 minutes in the freezer, 30 minutes in the fridge, just to get the mixture nice and cold. Now I also had some bread dough that didn't necessarily need to be served with dinner, but I really wanted to get it in the oven on this particular evening, so I'm throwing that into a Dutch oven and baking it as well. You can find that recipe over on my blog. It's very, very simple. If you're a brand new, beginner when it comes to sourdough, I'd recommend starting with that recipe because it's so easy. Now, I want to say I think it's unfortunate that if I make a video about homemaking and how it fulfills me and how it's something I'm passionate about and something that I love, then somehow someone somewhere will take that as me looking down my nose at any mom who, does work outside the home or acting as if what I do is better. And that's not at all what I'm trying to say. It's just not true. And listen, I technically work from home. I started my blog in 2017, and then I started my YouTube channel a few years later. I felt like I had the opportunity to try to create some extra income right here within the walls of our home. And so I am not in any way looking down my nose at anyone who works outside the home. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is just as much value in being a homemaker and, staying within the home. There's just as much value in that, and I'm willing to shout it from the rooftops and tell every young girl listening that if that is what you want to do, then do not be scared, do not be ashamed, do not worry about what people say, the looks that people might give you. Listen, I've gotten some looks over the years. People have told me that I'm wasting my life, that I'm wasting my skills, I'm wasting my degree, that I have more to offer society, that I shouldn't be staying at home. And I'm sorry, but I could not disagree more. I feel so much peace with where God has me right now, and maybe one day I will work outside the home. I don't really know what the future holds. All I know is that I just wanted to share those thoughts with you guys today. And I'm sure no matter what I say or how I said it, someone will probably take offense at something here today that I've said. And I apologize for that. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I just want to champion those desires. And anyways, all right, I'll stop rambling about that. I just wanted to kind of show you how this meal came together. You saw Mike grilled the salmon and the asparagus. That was delicious. I used some of the marinade and just boiled it for a bit there so I could spoon it over the fish. You may have seen me doing that. And now we're going to enjoy this yummy cobbler. Oh my goodness, you guys, I made this gluten-free, by the way, and it turned out absolutely delicious. I highly recommend some vanilla ice cream to go with it. I actually stuck it in the warm oven. It was still hot because I had baked my bread. So while we were waiting for the ice cream takes about 20-25 minutes to be completely ready. And technically you could throw it into a glass container and freeze it for a couple hours. So it's not like soft serve, but we were just ready for dessert and we didn't want to wait a couple of hours. So it was so yummy. Oh my goodness, you guys are going to have to try this recipe. Like I said, I'm going to put it on my blog. I don't often share a ton of recipes on my blog, but this is a great one. So I'm putting it on there for you guys. The link will be in the description. And oh my word, I don't know where you live. I know there are different parts of the country and some people are just so ready for summer to be over. I have a close friend who lives in Georgia and she is just over it. She hates the heat. She's ready for fall. But this Michigan girl is still loving every single bit of this gorgeous weather. And you guys, our garden has been such a gift. Oh my word, I never expected it to be such a treasure for my boys. They love exploring the garden every single day, watering their plants, checking for new little, vegetables for them to pick. It's just been such a fun adventure for all of us. And I feel like we've learned so much. So if you are brand new to gardening and you're scared, I'm going to tell you what, you just do it scared. I was scared. I thought I would kill everything, but it's just been so wonderful and so much fun. And I'm so thankful for my friends who stepped in, my neighbor, my friend from church who, helped me and gave me the courage to start as late as we did. But we started anyways, and it's just been such a blessing to go check it out every night and see what we can harvest. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you're new here, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.